Hello, I'm Dr. Eve. Welcome to my Sexual Health Center. I'm sharing with you a number of stories that come into my therapy practice every day, into my inbox and my Facebook page, and also on my Twitter feed. The fascination of people's lives, their romantic and of course their sexual lives as well. I found so much humor in this mail from this young woman. She's 30 years old and she has a story of 43% of women that says, I have no sex drive whatsoever. I know you could be one of those women, so listen up. She says, my husband is beginning to feel as if there's somebody else because we only have sex every 2 weeks if we're lucky. I feel incompetent and it's unfair to my husband. One thing also is that he always wants to have sex at the most unsexy times. I think this is cute. In the morning when our breaths smell like crap and when we've had too many drinks coming back from a party. She says he's not the romantic type, but he does so much for our household. I need to pause there because this is one of the factors that pleases women a great deal and will entice them and seduce them into being sexual is if he, as a man, does more household work. This is a good point for you to remember. She says we've been married for 2 years and been together for about 7 years. But what's wrong with me? Or is it mainly a case of just spicing up the relationship? So she's identified what we call the good conditions to be sexual. She doesn't like doing it when she doesn't feel clean and fresh and wide awake. She doesn't want to do it when she's kind of half drunk and in the morning when her breath doesn't smell great. She wants to do it at a conditioned time. So you've got to set it up in that way. Every second week, well, a lot of people watching this might be thinking, well, I think that's a lot of sex to be having. But she doesn't think so. So that's the important thing. They've also been together for 7 years, even though they've been married for 2, which means that they're over familiar with each other. And they've also got used to quite a domesticated lifestyle. And that is very unsexy. So it's time to pop off into my store and to look around and say, well, how can I eroticize myself as a woman? And how can I eroticize the relationship? And that's when the fabulous things such as porn comes into it. Lingerie comes into it. Saying, what can I do as a woman to feel more sexualized? There isn't a pill on the market. There isn't going to be for some time any kind of drug that's going to get you to feel aroused. In any case, I don't think that that's going to be the full solution to you as a woman if you feel you don't really have sexual desire. Consider that you are over familiar. Consider that you are over domesticated and that your lifestyle isn't one in which you feel sexy. You got to feel sexy. You got to dress the part. You got to feel the part. You got to masturbate your way into it. You got to use the sex toys. You got to create an environment in which you really can sex it up and stop worrying about numbers in terms of how often I'm being sexual. I think you should focus more on the quality of the kind of sexual activity you're having and integrate that into your lifestyle rather than seeing it as a separate activity that I have to do and take out once a night or once a week because one of the magazines says so, because media says so, because my friends say so. No, be true to yourself. Integrate sexuality into your relationship and make it work for you. Feel alive as a person, which will include feeling alive as a sexual person. To find out more about sexuality and your relationships, find me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter.